and gentlemen, this is bout number 5 on the card. This fight brought to you by the Sleep Doctor. 3 by 5 minute rounds in the MMA welterweight division. Your referee in charge of this contest, Mr. Chris Shen. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's the BJJ fighter standing 5 feet 8 inches tall with an official weight 66.6 kilograms. 5 fights, 3 wins. Training out of the Scammer Fight Club in Narre Warren. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Warrior Wase.
Great round of applause there for Chris Wase.
And across the ring, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He's a striker standing 5 feet 8 inches tall with an official weight 66.3 kilograms. 4 fights, 3 wins. Training out of the Bulldog Gym in Moral Park. Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan the Mauler Wolf.
Christian, our referee, he's going to have his hands full for this one.
He is, boys. This is a very
This one
exciting
brought to you
fight.
by the Sleep Doctor.
Here we go.
Round 1.
Won't be a touch of the gloves here.
Dylan comes out, left body kick. Chris moving well.
Very unorthodox stance by Dylan Wolf.
Checks well. Chris has done some work in Thailand at Muay Thai.
Really
Phuket
racist.
top team, so he'll check well. His leg kicks will be strong. Head movement always good.
Both boys got their chins pretty high as we see Chris Wase go for the attempt to takedown and gets him down.
Yeah, good start there with Chris Wase.
One butterfly in for Dylan Wolf. He's got through. He's almost in side control. Dylan controlling the legs well though. Got that one palm against the thighs. All is protecting him right now. Oh, he's got a guillotine.
Ooh, one hand, no.
Wrong side.
Got Wase's right arm though, Dylan, so...
He does. But Chris Wase moving his head well so far.
Yeah, he's got that around his head.
He wants that side control. Got it. Side control. Early side control for the Warrior.
This is a start he wanted against Dylan Wolf, who was always going to start flamboyant on his feet.
He was. It's a good idea to get this one to the ground, take a bit of the juice and a bit of the wind out of the sails of Dylan Wolf early on.
And that's exactly what he has done here. 5th fight of AFC 12.
Oh, he's gone for mount.
Attempted full mount there, not
Back
quite.
to half guard for Dylan Wolf. Again, still trying to lock in that head control, but not a lot of it right now. Hasn't taken any damage though, which for Dylan's perspective is a big up.
And using that cage to try to just get a flick off Dylan Wolf there. And
Could
he's
sweep here, but he's...
Yeah.
He almost has. Well done, Dylan Wolf.
And he may get back to their feet. They do. Great. Chris Wase was very quick there, wasn't he, Josh?
He was. He's a high output fighter, great cardio, so I'm expecting Chris Wase to keep pushing the action against Dylan Wolf early in this fight.
And you mentioned Wase was going to come out very, very strongly, and he has. He's really upset last night.
Oh, good right hand. Got to loosen him up here. Drop a couple of punches, get Dylan to make a mistake. It's the easiest way to either open up his guard for a bit of ground and pound or lock in one of those submissions.
This is a great start here. Both guys really do not like each other. Proudly sponsored by Sleep Doctor Australia, and great to be here at the Melbourne Pavilion. Matt Pilios, John O'Arman, Josh Warner, here your commentators on Go Fight TV.
Armbar, Matty, sorry to cut you off, but he's working the armbar, Dylan Wolf. Looking to try, well done,
Gets it out.
Waves. Slides out well.
And trying to get side control again.
Dominating on the ground so
really
far,
is.
but really no damage. It looks good for the judges, yeah, but hasn't hurt Dylan
Absolutely,
at all.
guys, just from this position, is exactly what I was going to say, Josh, is guys, from this position, Chris is doing a great job of keeping control, keeping on top and out-wrestling Dylan, but I just think Chris maybe just starts hammering down some strikes, just start doing a few things to soften him up a bit.
Yeah, trying for that Kimura on Dylan.
Oh, he's going to go for the armbar in a dogfight.
May get swept again, no.
Oh, he had the Kimura, even a fire armbar set up. I like the fact that Chris is working the submissions.
And here come the bombs from Chris Wase!
Rear naked choke, no. Well done, Dylan Wolf, but in full mount and in all. Oh, he's pinning an arm down too. Could be looking for a mounted triangle.
And really
back for the armbar.
Very good patience by Wase, really. Hasn't lost that top position.
Oh, big punches.
Good one.
Couple of them got through as well.
Yeah, second and third one. Definitely snuck through.
Oh, Dylan Wolf's done well though to sweep.
As Dylan Wolf got the reversal.
He has. Dylan Wolf in the side control.
Oh, gets on top.
Looking for the standing guillotine.
Let it go. May try to get him a knee while he gets up. He's going to try to get his back, but I don't think it's there.
Looking for the switch again. Look at Chris, so relentless with a double leg.
Underhooks here.
Dylan Wolf's got to lower his centre of gravity now.
Yeah, he does.
Terrific
taken
takedown by Chris Wase.
Just as I said it,
It was
didn't lower
right against the
centre of
cage
gravity.
there. Couldn't really spread his leg, could he?
Now, Chris Wase is using the cage so well right now. Dylan Wolf hasn't been able to mount any offense in this fight at all so far.
One thing actually is fun as well, Josh, you mentioned that Chris Wase using the cage really well. All the previous times that I've seen Chris fight, he's had to fight in the ring. He's looking so much more comfortable with having the barrier of the cage to use that instead of the ropes.
Not only the safety element, but for Chris's game plan and fight style, the cage has benefited him so much. Once again, Chris looking to throw a leg over. All elbows from north-south position.
Yeah, still, I'd just like to see Chris just soften him up a little bit.
He's in full mount.
Instead of just trying to attempt a submission.
He's working the Kimura again.
Yeah, he loves that Kimura attempt.
Dylan Wolf's doing really well off his back though. Credit to him here. He's making a really hard target for Chris to implement his strategy here.
And Wolf just has to survive this first one there, get that opportunity back on his feet.
He's supposed to finish it, Matty, so that's
Yeah.
not overly likely right now.
Matty P. Dylan said he was going to finish Chris Wase in the first round. This is looking more and more unlikely as we count down the final seconds of our first round.
Full mount again. He should open up Chris Wase and press the judges even more.
And that is the start Chris Wase did want in this fifth fight out of 12. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, AFC titles on the line, light heavyweight and middleweight later in the evening. And coming after this one, we have got some beauties. Nick Davis taking on Mikey Batua.
Get the fight in the middle, throw some strikes, soften him up a bit, maybe chop the legs up a little bit and slow down those takedowns because Chris is so explosive off his legs.
Great advice from Australian Muay Thai champion John O'Arman. Round 2, here we go. Dylan Wolf takes centre of the ring.
Dylan's hands are very, very low, very dangerous. Chris Wase can throw the leather quite well. Both boys going for the low kicks early.
Yeah, side kick from Dylan Wolf early. Chris Wase again just biding his time, using his angles well. Footwork is fantastic. Moving targets always harder to hit, Matty Pilios.
Yeah, both guys really both have their hands low, and as Jono being a Muay Thai fighter there, that's slam of Wase.
Well,
really
Josh,
has been the story.
Josh, he asked me what my advice was. Get in the centre of the cage. Don't get up against it.
Yeah.
He's gone up against it. And what has Chris done? He's laid the smack down.
Again, dominant position, side control early on, and he's got 4.5 minutes to work his ground game.
And this all of a sudden is going to become tough for Dylan Wolf here. Dominant first round by Chris, and starting this second one already on top.
And let's not forget the fact that Dylan was absolutely drained at the weigh-ins yesterday.
Yeah,
so
he
the
was.
longer this fight goes, the more it plays into Chris Wade's hands. Having said that, Dylan looks fantastic so far.
Yeah, he filled out well in the last 24 hours, that's for sure.
Chris Wase, again, he loves that north-south position, looking for the north-south control of the game. Submissions available, or big ground and pound. Side control, where are those knees again, John O'Arman?
Yeah, definitely like to see the knees going into the body, but as he attempts to go into full mount and lock the legs out, he's got the hooks in. Josh Warner, this is your 101.
Skydive, back to full mount, and the big punches now. Got to control the head though, it's too easy for Dylan Wolf to just wriggle himself out.
Yeah, he does. He's got to really try to put his arms under that neck there.
You know, guys, just from yesterday, as we said, there's a lot of motion in this fight and the weigh-in, a lot of intensity at the weigh-in. Just between the two, Chris Wase also just looks so much more composed, so much more calm in the cage.
As Jono mentioned, working the armbar right now, got plenty of time now to work this armbar.
Time on the side of Chris Wase. Can Dylan Wolf get out of this precarious position?
He's back in full mount, so still in trouble, but submission not as likely right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Being up against the cage, as both fighters are now, Josh, would you say the strategy would be to try and buck Chris Wase off or try and wiggle your way out, try and move further off the fence so he can try and either buck or look for a way out?
He's got to get him out of mount. The wall walk would have been appropriate, but with back mount now, he's in real trouble again. So here now, push him off and start to wall walk. Get your bum against the bottom of the cage and start to push yourself up.
Try to grab the ankle there of Chris.
He did, but no real drama for a heel hook or anything.
Oh, nice up kick.
That was legal.
And again.
But Chris Wase just relentless in wanting to keep him up against the fence.
Pretty obvious why they call him the Warrior now, boys.
And both guys do not like each other. There are a few words there by Wase to Dylan there.
Bit of smack talk now from Chris Wase. Always easier when you're dominating your opponent.
Yes, halfway through this bout, he's definitely nearly 2-0 up on the scorecards.
Dylan Wolf does have, what's he got? Is he full mount? John, does he have an arm locked in on the side there?
No, not quite.
So
he is looking forward. He just can't quite. I just can't get around our referee Christian's leg from our commentary position.
It's pretty hard getting your legs around the traps of Chris Wase. He's a huge 66-kilo fighter again.
And a really, really dominant fight so far by Chris Wase. Probably surprised a lot of people. I think Wolf went into favourite here on our Ladbrokes.com. So
he was a heavy favourite, but once again, I think there's just too much emotion early on, and Chris is implementing just a better game plan right now.
And guys, just like our previous fight, where the fighter on top for so long was just able to wear down and grind down as Chris Wase looks, as we said, coming out in the second round. Dylan just looked a lot more tired. It definitely plays on the fighter's mind. He said yesterday, Josh, that Dylan just looked so drained at the weigh-in. And now the longer this fight goes, the wear down, the dominance on top position as Chris Wase continues to do, this is just going to wear down Dylan Wolf.
Yeah, for our fans at home that have never grappled in the past, like right now Dylan Wolf's wearing all probably 65 kilos of Chris Wase directly on his chest. So as far as his cardio, it's just draining him. Oh, rear naked choke!
Has he got it locked in tight? Clay Amatang, he's looking all smiles. He's got the fist up in the air.
Thumbs up from Dylan Wolf. Thumbs up.
It was only really on the side there. Couldn't get his back because of the cage.
Clay was very excited for a second, but again, Dylan Wolf, I'm really impressed right now with his ability to survive after being dominated so badly on the ground.
He hasn't really panicked on his back, even though he spent 90% of this fight. So
in interview, he did say that he's not worried about any of the submission skills of Chris Wase at all. And so far, he's respecting him, but he doesn't seem overly concerned,
Chris Wase just trying to look for that Kimura. He just can't quite slip it in and pull it in tight enough.
The Kimura is what we in Jiu-Jitsu call the strongman submission. Not a lot of technique, all about strength. Right now, Chris Wase dominating the strength department. So, he's got it locked in.
Can he get this, Josh Warner?
Kimura's locked in.
Well done,
Dylan Wolf. Rolled out again. That's fantastic jiu-jitsu from Dylan Wolf.
Yeah, great defense.
Both guys putting on a terrific display here in Centre Cage. This is what mixed martial arts is all about, isn't it, right, guys?
Showcase right now, John O'Arman. The showcase of Australian and, more importantly, Victorian mixed martial arts.
The big bombs coming down from Chris Wase.
2 rounds down.
What a great round there again from Wase. And Wolf spent probably the last 4.5 minutes of that round on his back.
Dylan Wolf once again will need a stoppage to win this fight.
And 2 rounds to 0, no doubt. He probably knows that, and so does his corner there at SKA MMA Fight Club.
Personally, sometimes I come back to my corner after being a heavier fighter. I'm always really gassed. Stand up, get the air in the lungs rather than sit down and squeeze up your body.
Here we go. 3rd and final round, boys. Will they touch him up?
Proudly sponsored once again by Sleep Doctor Australia here at AFC 12.
Will they touch him up? What are you talking about, Josh Warner?
Oh, mate.
Beautiful.
Takedown.
Just changed levels beautifully there, Chris Wase.
Carbon copy of the first 2 rounds. Dylan Wolf tried the big punch. Chris Wase ducked under, shot, takedown, side control.
And his corner there would be absolutely shattered of the position again there, Dylan Wolf's corner.
They will, only because crucifix 2 from Chris Wase, but he has the ability to hold the fight in the ground for the next 4 minutes and 40-odd seconds.
And we saw that last round.
Just listening into the corners, actually I can just hear Clay Matangi yell out to his charger Chris Wase as he took him down. Now punish him, make him pay.
Pretty good advice, John O'Arman. Chris Wase again.
A lot more sweat now though, so more of a chance of Dylan if he's still got some batteries in there to get up and try to slip out, but good elbow there to the body by Wase.
Yeah, just taking any of that air that's left in the lungs directly out of Dylan Wolf right now. And it breaks his spirit too as a fighter. If being dominated for 2.5 rounds, it's very hard to keep your composure and keep fighting on.
No doubt it is.
Both guys lock it up right in front of our commentary position. This could not be any easier to commentate there, only centimetres away from us, boys.
Chris Wase.
And Wolf trying to get up on his feet. I've got a feeling he might... got his back.
Beautiful transition, Chris Wase.
He might pull him back here.
He's working the rear naked choke. Dylan Wolf thumbs up.
He did well.
And referee Chris Shen very close to the action, making sure that fighter's safety is looked after at all times. Once again, Chris Wase in the dominant position. I'd like to see Chris Wase start raining down some bombs.
Yeah, he seems to be looking for that Kimura and fire armbar every time. If I'm exactly with you, John O'Arman, try a couple of elbows.
Yeah, soften him up a little bit, look for the submission. Matty Pilios, if you're Dylan Wolf, what would you be trying to do?
Yeah, I'd be trying to slip out and try to get my feet straight away, like he's trying to do, and just get this back to standing up. He knows he's 2 rounds down.
Big knee.
As he cops a knee, and just has to try to stand up and try to lay some big bombs, I suppose.
Can't do that. That was illegal. That was a knee to the back. Chris Shen's missed that one.
I don't think too badly intentional.
Oh, that one right in the rib cage.
That hurts badly.
When we throw the knees for our folks at home, The place to hit are definitely around the liver and kidney sections. When you cop one to that, as Chris just throws another one in down to the lower kidney section, and it stings after a while.
Too strong.
What
Too
a
strong,
great
Chris
sweep,
Wase.
yeah.
Too strong, and his ground control is absolute dominance in this
And
fight.
Wase has that wiry sort of strength.
He does.
Just that longer body, where when Dylan tried to roll out after him, he's just been able to smother him again.
Every time Dylan looks to get out and you think he's about to get out, Chris Wase just counter him. He is relentless.
He's absolutely riding him here every time, Dylan. And he's trying the right techniques, but Chris Wase has got the answer to negate it every time.
This is one of the fights of Chris Wase's career, let me tell you, because he's absolutely dominated the up-and-coming Dylan Wolf, who's a 3-1 fighter before this fight.
Well, right now he's going to be 3-2 unless he can pull something out of his head here.
Well, Dylan Wolf having a lot to say and talking a lot of smack before this fight. Now Chris Wase all over the top of him, just looking over in the corner of Chris Wase. All the boys from Scammer Gym, it is nothing but smiles.
Yeah, they're pretty happy there.
Alternatively, Bulldog Jim, Lancertia, not as big a grins on their faces right now.
Definitely a tough night in the office there.
But this is the fight game and anything can happen, folks. We're counting down to the final stage, this third and final round between Dylan Wolf and Chris Wase. It has been all Chris Wase so far. Can Dylan Wolf get up to his feet and pull off a Hail Mary?
Great knee again there by Wase.
Again, Dylan Wolf trying the right thing.
Absolutely
trying to bump
desperate.
off the cage, trying to improve position, but Chris Wase is just superior grappler right now. There's no other way to put it.
Hasn't stopped at all and hasn't given up Dylan Wolf. But absolute dominance on the ground. This might be his last final hurrah.
Oh, straight away. Oh, wait a minute. Now,
stayed
Dylan's
up.
got a chance. Dylan's got a chance here.
Throws a couple of big elbows.
Throwing a few haymakers, but nothing to do too much damage to the skull.
Just wants to get the
Wase.
distance.
Looking for the figure 4 on the left arm of Chris Wase.
Beautifully done.
Had to drop his weight, concentrating too much on the arm.
Now for our viewers at home, takedowns that was just demonstrated by Chris Wase scores very nice on the judges' scorecards as well.
Absolutely.
So once again, probably Chris Wase would be, you'd be leaning another 10-9 round for Chris Wase.
Very disciplined there by Chris Wase. 5
takedowns in the fight so far. Probably had at least 90% of dominant ground control. This one should be a late Amazera, I'd say, lads. Knees by Chris Wase. Dylan Wolf really out of answers, unfortunately. He's really game fighter, but just hasn't had the answers for Chris Wase today.
And late in this third and final round of our 5th fight of AFC 12, Chris Wase will no doubt get an easy point decision. Does Dylan Wolf have a last roll of the dice?
Can't really see much happening for Dylan unless he can get back to his feet as we count down to the final 10 seconds. Our referee Christian keeping a very close eye on both of these warriors in centre cage.
Because this isn't going to end very quickly. Christian,
it is over.
Consider the bout, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Warrior Wase, Dylan the Mauler.
Oh no, Dylan Wolf, you've just been dominated for 3 rounds and you've still got a lot to say. Throwing the mouth guard out, that's not what mixed martial arts is about. Chris Wase, a dominant performance. It's a funny thing, I'm just reading on Chris Wase's profile here. I've been working on my Muay Thai and stand-up at Phuket Top Team Thailand, yet he didn't get a chance to really demonstrate it. It was all ground game, it was all takedowns, it was all ground control, it was all Chris Wase.
Mixed martial arts isn't about emotion, it's just throwing big bombs, it's about technique, and it's also about respect, and that's what we saw from Chris Wase today. We're going to throw to centre ring for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we've gone to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score the contest 30-27, declaring the winner via unanimous points decision. Blue corner, Chris Warrior!
Well, no surprise there. Josh Warner, Chris Wase taking out the victory there. Will there even be a handshake between these two? Doesn't look likely.
Not at all.
Chris Wase definitely just looked more calmer through the whole fight.
Here we go, shake the hands. That's what we like to see.
There we go, much better.
Dylan Wolf. Good handshake. Good handshake. Leave it at that, boys. Leave it at that. We'll get him out.
Let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that. Christian doing a terrific job as our centre referee as well, always.
Michelle Lansdowne will speak to our victor, Chris Wase, ask him a few questions about the fight.
What's the fight? You must be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, feeling great. 3 rounds, pretty tough, but feel good. Ready for more, yeah.
And you spent a lot of time in Thailand training. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I did a one month camp in Phuket Top Team. It was great, training twice a day, every day. Just focusing on training flat out. That's really good.
And what's next for you?
Just whatever AFC's got for me. I'll fight anyone, yeah. Whatever, let's go.
Awesome, well done. An incredible fight. Okay, what does that thank you to your sponsors?
I just thank my sponsors, Reflex Nutrition, Couldn't have done it without you guys, all my coaches, especially Clay, Nam, Izzy, you guys rock. All my training partners, the whole team at Scammer, you guys are great. Thanks heaps, guys. And my girlfriend, Melissa.
I'm going to thank her. Thanks so much. Well done tonight.